Right, good morning. So, today is Monday, 8 o'clock in the morning. Dito kami sa sentro ngayon ng Lisbon, center city of Lisbon. So, today is our last day ng aming pamamasyal, ng aming tour. Kailangan pa namin maglakad ng 9 minutes bago kami makarating doon sa aming meeting area.
Let's start for the beginning. Basically, we call it Sintra because of the Roman Empire. Okay, the Romans were here 2,000 years ago, and they used to call this village Cynthia. Actually, okay, Cynthia was the goddess of the moon for the Romans. Okay, so when the Portuguese people conquered this place on the 12th century, precisely in 1147, we start to call it Sintra in the Portuguese way. But as you can see, Cynthia and Sintra, it's very similar. Okay, and that's why, for example, this is the reason why we call it Sintra. Actually, in the village of Sintra, you will see probably some business. For example, cafeteria Cynthia. Okay, you will see that is the origin of the name. Okay, but the truth was that we conquered this place in 1147. Okay, how that happened? Before we were here, the Portuguese people, there was a lot of civilizations that were here. Okay, we talked about the Romans, but between the Romans and the Portuguese people conquering this place, all these centuries, there was a lot of civilizations here. Okay, the most important civilization for us to talk for our day, it was here from the 8th century until the 12th century, and they were known as the Moors. Actually, okay, did you heard about the Moors in Portugal? Probably yes, right? So basically, about the Moors, it's a specific group. It's a Islamic civilization, okay, that move on in the 8th century from the north of Africa, from the Maghreb zone, like Morocco and Algeria, for example, and they move on to Portugal, but also to Spain, actually, okay, and they establish over here in the 8th century, creating a very, very strong civilization with a proper army, weapons, okay, so we are not talking about a very small civilization. They were actually really, really strong, okay. So how Portugal began? The truth is that there was one man in the north of Portugal that have this idea to create Portugal, let's say like this, okay. So his idea was to conquer lands against the Moors, okay. This man, his name was Afonso Henriques, okay. And about Afonso Henriques, he will be the first king of our history, actually, okay. Also about Afonso Henriques, as you can imagine, he was a Catholic man, okay, so the opposite of the Islamic civilization that was here. And also, as you can imagine, one man cannot defeat an entire army and a civilization in a whole country, let's say like that, okay. So what happened? With some help of religious orders, actually, okay, Catholic religious orders, he managed to conquer lands against the Moors, okay. I'm going to give you an example of a religious order that helped him to conquer a lot of lands against the Moors. That was the Templars, actually, okay. When we talk about the Templars, we are talking about a Catholic religious order that originally was from France, actually, okay. And why they help Afonso Henriques? Because if they are a Catholic order, they want to spread the word of Catholicism all around the world, so they help Afonso Henriques, of course. And basically what they started to do, they start to conquer a lot of lands in the north of Portugal, okay. They advance to the center, they go to the south. It gets one point that the Moors were kicked out, okay, and they need to leave Portugal, and that's how Portugal began, okay. It's a very short story of how we began, but it was something like this, actually, what happened, okay.
Nandito na ako ngayon sa lugar ng Sintra. So itong Sintra ay 1 hour to from Lisbon na biyahe. So itong Sintra pala, ano to dati, parang bakasyonan ng kanilang hari. So merong palasyo dito yung hari ng Portugal. Kasi doon sa Lisbon, mainit yung temperature doon kumpara dito sa Sintra, mas malamig. Kung sa Pilipinas pa parang Baguio City to. Dito nagpapahinga yung hari during summertime. So papakita ko lang sa inyo yung background ko, yung tuktok ng bundok na yan. Merong kastilyo ng or palasyo ng mga Muslims. So Moorish palace actually ang tawag sa mga ganyang mga structure. So I'm just amazed sa mga structure ng mga Muslim. Kung mapapansin nyo, nandun sa tuktok ng bundok, ha. So I cannot imagine how they constructed that structure, kasi I'm sure it's not easy to bring materials para mag-construct ng ganyan kalaki na struktura, di ba? So kamangha-mangha. So ang mga Muslims dating sila yung parang isa sa mga naghahari dito. Noong unang panahon, mga 1,000 years ago, so dito na yung mga Muslim actually. So kaya meron sila mga traces ng mga ganyang mga structure. So hindi lang dito sa Sintra, so marami pa sa Lisbon, even sa Spain. So marami din sila mga ganyang klaseng mga struktura. So na-amazed ako kasi bakit nandyan sa tuktok, no? So napakahirap nung pag-construct ng ganyan. Pero for sure yung reason nila kung bakit dyan nila kinoconstruct dahil siyempre may purpose for the defense. So the more na nasa taas ka, madali mong makikita yung mga kaaway, no, kung sakaling lulusubin sila. Okay, so this is the Cuenta da Regaliera. So yan yung pangalan sa lugar na ito. So historically, pagmamayari siya ng isang milyonaryo, ang pangalan si Montero. Noon yun na ginawa itong lugar na ito 1900s, early 1900s, but for now pagmamayari na siya ng gobyerno ng Portugal para ipakita sa publiko. So wala namang masyadong interesting sa lugar na ito actually. Ano siya, nung una na intriga kami kasi ang daming pila haba-haba nung pila ng mga tao. Naglalakad pa kami after naming makapasok sa entrance. The good thing, hindi maaraw kasi marami mga puno. So yun lang yung kagandahan. Tapos pumasok kami sa isang tunnel, then pababa patungo doon sa kakaibang well, no? Ano siya, parang siyang inverted na tower. So mga 27 meters yung lalim nung well na iyon. And then lumabas kami sa tunnel. Hindi lang isang tunnel actually sa ilalim, maraming mga tunnels. So yun lang. Okay, so this is the Pina Palace here in Sintra. So isa sa mga pinaka-famous na lugar na pinupuntahan ng mga turista. Kikita nyo sa labas, makulay. Ganda ng kulay ng kanilang palace. But actually, hindi lang sa panlabas yung kagandahan yan, maging sa loob. So doon sa loob, grabe yung mga details ng mga muebles doon sa loob, mga antigo na mga bagay, at saka doon sa loob ng room ng hari, talagang parang bumalik kami sa nakaraan. So parang nai-imagine namin kung paano namumuhay yung hari noon. At ang nakakamangha na istorya nitong palasyo na ito ay regalo ng hari sa kanyang reyna. Yung pangalan ng hari si King Ferdinand II at saka yung kanyang reyna na si Queen Maria. So ang kwento daw, niregalo to ng hari kay Queen Maria dahil parang nung unang panahon kasi si King Ferdinand II parang hindi siya nakakabilib na hari, hindi siya ang kwento daw hindi naman siya Portuguese talaga, taga-ibang lugar siya at nagkaroon lang sila ng arranged wedding. Actually si Queen Maria hindi rin believe kay King Ferdinand sa simula at pati din yung mga Portuguese hindi believe sa hari nila na sa King Ferdinand kasi nga hindi siya Portuguese So ang ginawa ni King Ferdinand, gumawa siya ng ganito ka gara na palasyo para ipa-impress niya hindi lang sa mga Portuguese pati din sa kanyang reyna. So ayun, napaibig niya si Maria at in fact nakapag-anak pa nga daw si Maria ng 11 na anak. So ganun ka tamis yung kanilang pagmamahalan. So ayun. Alright, that's the end of our tour. So bukas ay pahinga na kami. And then by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, start na ng aming convention. So sulit naman yung aming Spain and Portugal tour.
Yeah.
So, magastos lang pero that's part of the experience. Okay, so signing off sa aming tour.